Hi, Corrie Thorne, spiritual healer, coming in to do the weekly vlog. This week we are focusing on the frizzle and the frazzle of life. So the whole week, the whole energy, the whole week of the energy is all like this. It is like not so well put together, not so well placed, not so well organized. It's not supposed to be. It's kind of like the not so pretty mess of it all as we are and shifting and evolving in how we will approach the next stage of the game or the next stage of life. We are in the midst, we just came through the new moon, and we have the full moon coming up, and the full moon is coming up in um when is it coming up? October 31st, sorry, on Halloween. We have the full moon, and it's the once in a blue moon. We have that blue moon energy coming in. And so that once in a blue moon, it's like once in a blue moon, something great can happen. Once in a blue moon, something like goes wacky and crazy. And once in a blue moon, you never know, a miracle can happen. And I just feel like there's a possibility that even in these times when we think there's no way possible, well, it is, and something seems as if there is some sort of magic that's possible, some sort of light that comes. It's like just when you think nothing can happen, that nothing good can come, a whole lot of good comes. And when you think nothing good is going to come of a certain situation, actually, it might actually surprise you. So I feel like there is some surprise energy in here. It's like we think the worst, we go to the worst, but is it really the worst? And is it the worst the way things are going to unfold? I'm like, I don't think so. I feel as if we have some, and I'm like, and I've spoke with this last week, and I'll speak about it again. There is still some ego at play here, and we have a lot of um, ego energy of people wishing really hard for to get their outcome of what they want to happen. And I feel like there's something bigger than us at play here, and there's something bigger than us that is going down. And I've spoke about this for so long, and we've seen some of it come to life in the political part of the planned kidnapping of one of the diplomats or one of the senators in the US. And I'm not US, I'm Canadian, but I seen this. And so I'm not US, I'm not American, I am Canadian. And so when I seen this, I'm like, could this be what I was seeing? That the whole essence of, how much more dangerous and volatile can the tantrums and the being offended actually get before you realize that no matter what is happening around you in any political party, it is all words and actions that are all based on motives and manipulation to get their way, to get what they want. And so it's like, look deeper, look bigger, look beyond the light that you're looking into, look beyond the eyes of the one place. When you get laser focused on something, look bigger and think what else is happening. And also think that when something bad goes down, or when something not so pretty goes down, that do you want to be on the side that contributed to this happening? It's like if you keep poking a bear and you keep kind of poking that energy of, we got to get rid of this person, we got to do this, we got to do this. And when they do that kind of, and when there's that kind of energy, there's always that kind of crazy radical energy out there that will then step in and take it beyond anything that's reasonable, anything that's just about having a healthy demonstration, or a protest, I mean. And it's like, it just feels like that energy and that extreme energy is still out there. And like, don't push buttons and don't pull on strings that you're not really ready to take ownership for your part in the role if something really bad goes down. That message is coming through very clear for me. Again, it's like, be careful on the people that you're hating on right now, or that you're angry at, because life is short, and you never know what's going to happen the next phase of the game. And do you want to be on the other side of that, or do you want to be saying, oh, I should not have done that, or I should have been more compassionate? So compassion, kindness, love is more of what we need. And it's like, no, the world can't just survive on love alone, but love is the most powerful commodity that we have, because without being able to come from a loving place within our hearts, whether it's even loving for ourselves, but without being able to come from that place, I feel like you're really losing those aspects of what makes a good human being. And we're being very challenged in that area right now. So once in a blue moon, you'll see a miracle happen. Once in a blue moon, you're all going to be called upon to do the right thing, to be better human beings, to be kinder, to be gentler. And I also have, and I've said this, and I keep saying this, the angels have landed, and I just had this amazing big angel energy, and all I seen was light. And I always say I call it the Lord Jesus, the Lord Jesus Christ light. And it's just this whole sense of powerful beyond us light that is not meant for us to be trying to get into or become or trying to look directly into. It's recognizing that that kind of energy, that kind of powerful unconditional love that stops us in our tracks and makes us pause and think about our actions, our reactions, and how we are responding to the energy that's out there. Because how much of this energy is really not real? How much of it is made up to get you to go into into like primal instinctive fight, anger, frustration, like take us back into what we call the old brain self, prey on the emotions, trigger people into a response. Be careful of getting caught in that. That's just what I'm telling you. Be careful of getting yourself caught in that energy right now. It is everywhere. Even in Canada, all over, we're seeing it everywhere. We are also seeing that firsthand. And even though it always amazes me how, you can have people that will get on any social media or any media, and they'll be all in support of one thing or all against like someone who they're, competing against to get this title. And then when they don't get their way, and then they have to take the side of the other one, how much they can think that everybody else has forgotten everything that they had said, as if it never ever happened. So how much of frenemies are we seeing out there in that world of banding together, even though we don't have anything in common, and even though we don't? So we're seeing a lot of deception. We're seeing a lot of kind of unhealthy energy, but I've been working through a lot of this, and it's a betrayal. And betrayal within our own hearts and within our own lives. When you look back at your life and where we have been betrayed or where we betrayed ourselves, that energy is cracking us open right now to look deep, to dig deep on what it felt like to be betrayed, or what it felt like to feel like we were betrayed, have our words manipulated through somebody else's mouth and turned into something they weren't, kind of expanded on, because that person was angry, that person was depressed, that person was upset. So they took our words and turned them into something it didn't say. So unless it comes from the horse's mouth directly, it is not their words. Remember that. Important for this week. If it did not come directly from that person's mouth, then it is not their words. If you never heard it with your own ears and you weren't there to experience it and see the context and what they were speaking about, that's where it's coming from. And then integrity. The other thing of this week is integrity. You've seen it. You are seeing it in glimpses in different places where people are standing up, and you're seeing the energy within saying, hey, you know what? Let's stop the bullshit. Let's stop behaving this way. Let's stop being caught in this frizzly energy. Let's stop fighting and arguing with each other, and let's start banding together. Let's become a support system of love. Let's become a support system of compassion. Let's work together. And I'm going to call upon what is happening in South Africa, and you're seeing it firsthand, because that's coming all the way through. And a dear friend of mine has been posting a lot about this, and you see there's a whole lot more happening at play of what you don't see and what you're not seeing firsthand. And so we also have a lot of burning energy. We have a lot of fires. We have a lot of things that are happening that are kind of trying to burn away, we burn when natural fires happen and they have to burn away the old stuff. We also then get the unnatural. So we get the fires that are being intentionally set to blend in with that. but with an intention to take away the good. And so there's this whole sense of, or to cause more harm than there is good. So there's a lot of mixed up energy, and being able to decipher through the energy and not being triggered by old emotions this week is huge. Being knowing that that trigger is not real, or the old emotions are not real, true truth to what we're living, what you're living today and where you are. And not saying that there's not people that are being hurt and harmed, but how much of the story is present in your present day and what is affecting you right now, and looking at the areas of where we have kind of sold ourselves short, or how we have given so much of ourselves in different areas and we've not kind of claimed it back, or we've not taken back us. And I just finished writing a blog, and the only place I've shared the blog right now is with my students in the More Than Existing program. And I wrote about my love of the goddesses of rock, of pop, of like Tina Turner. And Tina Turner's been coming up. My heart is with Tina Turner. I don't know what's going on with you, Tina Turner, wherever you are in the world, Switzerland, of course, but my heart. And I know from one spiritual woman to the next spiritual woman, that wherever you are, and I know I'm a little pea pod, so it's like chances of ever hearing my message is going to be very thin, but from spirit to spirit, my heart is with Tina. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with Tina. I don't stalk down celebrities and stars. I don't think I think they're just everyday people like us that got extraordinary lives, that just get to live in their light, live in that, live in their passion. And so, but I'm feeling that. And so what I'm feeling with that is the essence that for me in my blog, what I wrote about Tina, and when I was a kid, I skated to Tina Turner, and I just seen this stage when she took the stage, when she had first fallen, I think it was like when she first fell in love and moved with her now husband, and there was just something in her eyes, and she walked on stage and she was wearing a black leather dress and had slits up the side, and she had a jean jacket on and her hair, and I'm like, oh my God, that's everything of what I feel inside of me. And it's just like that essence of everything that's been like that I've been told to kind of tone down, to numb down, all those pieces of me that I fought so hard for, to be able to have my cleavage shown, to be able to have my big blonde hair, to be always taken back and forth in the past couple of years about, well, if you're this indigenous woman, then you should have, why do you have blonde hair? Why do you cover up who you are? And I'm not my ancestors, and I'm not anything of the past. And my uniqueness of me is what I have been fighting for. But something of society has been kind of like, or something about trying to blend and fit into that world also started to dull that light, started to dull that energy. And so I was writing about this in a blog this morning about betraying my own self, and about how we betray our own selves by through the conditioning and by society. We try to become part of the more, the more mainstream, the more norm, the more that kind of part. Well, there's nothing about me that kind of fits into the mainstream. It's not who I am. And so don't try to fit yourself into a box that you don't belong into. And we're seeing a lot of that in the institution, and a lot of my work, and a lot of what this More Than Existing in the book is wrote about is that whole essence of trying to define and make everybody the same and everybody alike, and like that uniqueness was lost. And so through here is through the when you get through the lies and the half-assed truths of the realities that we create for ourselves, for us to live in, right? That whole sense, well, institutions have been doing that, or we go out and we want to be that, we want to help, we want to be of service. So we think that everything that we're doing to help other people is also helping us, but it's not. There is this level of self-help that we still need to do. And it's not about looking at ourselves as being like something totally wrong with us. It's accepting us, accepting who we are, and stop running from all parts of ourselves to be something to please somebody else. And so through this and through all of this work is that, I've recognized that even those who I kind of compared myself to, my teachers who taught me, or, people that were in these that had gone and got all these degrees and all these university things, and I'd be, can I ever be enough? Would I ever be enough? And through seeing the human of them and seeing their vulnerability and seeing how, they don't think they're any different than me, but those stories that we get caught in. And so that whole comparing ourselves and that comparison, and even the comparison between someone who's extremely wealthy and somebody who's not, but have we put the action steps? And what have you personally sat with them? Have you personally seen all the action steps that people take? Do you see the hard work? Do you see how much they actually give away? Do you see, where their money goes in donating to all of the kids hockey, like other kids hockeys or associations, or funding for things, and like all these other things that we don't look at? And what we're being told right now is that we need to look beyond that light. You need to look beyond, why do they have it and why don't I? Why is this here and why is that? It's like, and then from that place, we come from compassion, love. And if maybe they have it, and if we're all nice enough to each other and we can all be kind, maybe we can all use all of our tools, all of our skills, all of our resources, and we can all work together, and we can help in a much bigger way, and we can impact the world in a way bigger way than what we are doing right now. Because the fear that is leading this world right now, it is not working. Faith, hope is needed. Most of all, common sense. It is time for us to get back into a common sense, to know that we don't need someone to filter out the news we're reading, to tell us what is good news, what is bad news, what we should be watching, what we shouldn't be watching. I'm not two. And I can decide for myself. And I write that in my second book, or my third book, in my wine and chips book. I will decide. And so that's the whole point. I will decide. Your free will, your determination to be forward thinking, forward moving from a place within your heart of knowing that we can create this reality in any way that we want to create it, is really showing up for us right now. It's time for us to look through all this frizzle and frazzly energy that we have, and to be able to look beyond some of the bullshit, to be able to look beyond some of the motives and the manipulation, but also to be able to look beyond the light of what we hold to be through jealousy, envy, all of those things, and look at when we get caught in that energy, what we are betraying within ourselves when we make that choice to choose to follow that light, to want to chase down something instead of looking beyond. And what if there's something even more beautiful if we're just willing to look back into ourselves, look into our uniqueness, look into why we are the way we are, look into the fact that we're not here to be our ancestors. They've already lived. We're here to take the wisdom and knowledge and live beyond that. Live beyond even their hurts and pains. Live beyond into this new generational energy that's happening, but knowing that you still have your elders and the wise ones still here for a reason, because they're still always here to teach. You do not betray the wisdom and knowledge of this, or of that's higher than us, or this of the ancestors that are here. But we also know that we also have to blend it well with what we have, and to honor and respect, and not be betraying our own people that are around us, our own family, our own members. If we are not here to just exist in fear. We are not. We are here to more than exist. And it gets moving beyond the lies, the half-assed truth, the manipulation, the whole stories of this is, whatever reality we create is the alignment of the scope of the story that we're going to follow. And that's the truth. But you've got to be willing to look at both sides and then think from your higher self. Think for yourself. Think beyond, because there's this, there is that, and then there is the truth. And when you don't, and when you get caught here or you get caught there and you don't go there, you are betraying you. You're betraying everything that your soul self is trying to help you with, of trusting the guidance that you have. And it is time for us to get back to that. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you for being with me. Much, much appreciated. Bye-bye.